So welcome back. Welcome back to the next class. So we have been discussing about our ECCE program. Under this ECCE program, so far we have discussed the third course, that is planning and implementation of early childhood care and education program. So in this course, we have completed black one. Under black one, that is program implementation, we have 3 units. First unit is conversation and storytelling, and second unit is games. Third unit is creative activities and music and movement. Black 2, we have seen that school readiness, that is first unit in black 2. Under unit 4, we have seen pre-reading skills, vocabulary and language development, phonological awareness, that is understanding that letters have sound, and hint recognition, understanding pictures and books, literacy as a source of enjoyment, introducing the alphabets, role of teacher, reading, readiness, assessment. So today we will see the pre-numbers. Under this pre-numbers, we are going to study pre-number skills, comparison, seriation, classification, sorting, shapes, space and position, patterns and relationship, estimation, prediction, concept of money, number and operation, counting, one-to-one correspondence, quantity, comparison of sets, number and numeral set association, writing of numerals. Finally, we'll see the teacher's role. Okay, so in pre-number skills, we are going to study in pre-number skills. See, in this pre-number skills, the objectives of pre-number skills. So I have already read pre-number skills: comparison, seriation, classification, sorting, shapes, space and position, patterns and relationships, estimation, prediction, concept of money. All these things comes under. All these things come under pre-number skills. So objectives after reading this unit or this topic, the students will be able to appreciate the need for mathematical readiness, and know mathematical process skills and components of mathematics at preschool level. Third one is plan activities to develop process skills and pre-number skills in preschool children, and also understand the prevention and treatment of nutritional deficiency diseases. These are the objectives. So here the mathematics can be fun or frightening. Mathematics can be fun or frightening, fun or frightening. So if the mathematics introduced with necessary readiness at the preschool stage, children would develop confidence in the subject, mathematics subject, and be more likely to enjoy it as they grow older. So mathematics is merely learning numbers. Mathematics is mathematics is not merely learning numbers. So mathematics helps in developing reasoning and logical thinking. Reasoning and logical thinking. So how can this happen? Just by learning to read and write numbers from 1 to number of or infinite number. So early mathematics program must be a hands-on experience filled with play and exploration. So children love to move and use their senses. Senses like ears, eyes, nose, ears, eyes. Okay. So some of the activities like sorting, filing and arranging things. So these same skills can be used to begin teaching basic mathematics concepts. So many pre-maths experiences are available in everyday life. So we come across, or children come across number of daily life activities. By these daily life activities, children knowingly or unknowingly learn the mathematics. So these everyday experiences helpful in learning mathematics. So children often become aware of sequences in events before they can talk about first, second or third. They can easily identify who comes first, who comes second, who comes third, so on and so forth. Okay, so by age 2, they know that if they place one black on top of the another, it is two blacks. So when children lift objects, they experience lightness and heaviness before they are able to label that they feel. Another pre-math experiences, they have daily or smell, they daily or small and big, who are the top and who are the least. One second. So, another way is by another pre-maths experiences. Children have daily or small and big measurements differences, one, many, few, loads and time. By using this beginning mathematical thinking process, a quality preschool program makes children ready with necessary skills for mathematics. So here pre-number skills. So children can recognize and repeat the numbers very early. Children can recognize and repeat numbers very early. So here it is necessary to introduce pre-number skills before formal introduction of the number. So as to develop mathematics sense in children. So some of the preschool skills we will see: comparison of things by size, comparison of the things by size, bigger one, smaller one, in between the small and big, and the quantity, quantity small, few, so many, and length. Okay, length is very nearer and the longest, and height. Okay, smaller weight, sorry, very lightweight and heavy weight, and height, taller. Okay, taller and the shorter, and the volume. Okay, like this is an essential pre-number skills to be integrated with different activities covering the covering the big, small, more, less, tall and short, long and short. Okay, light and heavy, wide and narrow, holds more or less, fast and slow, early and late, day and night. So this is about the comparison of the things by size, quantity, length, height, weight, volume, etc. Next one is seriation and gradation of objects accordingly. From the comparison, we proceed to seriation. Next is seriation and gradation of the objects accordingly. So from comparison, teachers proceed to seriation and gradation with activities related to the related. Big to small, long to short, more to less, rough to smooth, heavy to light. This is about seriation. Next is the classification. So classification skill is the ability to classify the things, objects based on the uh, size, shape, color, size and shape and the color. And next one is sorting. Sorting is a child's play. Sorting is a child's play. This can be more purposively used for sorting of identical objects into groups. So sorting the identical objects. So sometimes identical shapes or identical size. So this is very enjoyable play, child's play. So activities related to sorting of objects by size, okay, by shape, by feel, by color, the way objects move, or by its usage. So all these would all these would help as roots for mathematical concepts. Next is the shapes. So here for children, recognizing the shapes all round is fascinating experience. Children identify basic shapes at preschool level. So what are the shapes here? Circles or squares, or you can take the triangle, cube, sphere and cylinder. So space and position. So children love to explore space and experiment by placing things in different places and positions at a very young age. So exploring the position of the things in space, like left to right, or sometimes right to left, sometimes top to bottom or bottom to top, or above to below, over to under, in out, front back, up down. Like this space and position, children love to explore space and experiment. Space and position experiment. Okay. Next is patterns and relationships. So pattern are the things that repeat, relationships or things that are connected by some kind of reason, and children very keenly observe this. This is about the pattern and relationships. Patterns and the relationships. Next one is the estimation. Estimation, like guess how much or how many. Guessing how many objects are there, how many objects are there, or sometimes how much, how much. Like this, children can be encouraged to estimate how many cups will fill a container. Show the cup and container. So you can ask the children to estimate how many cups will fill to a container. So by tea cups, okay, or milk container, you can take milk container. You can ask the children, so how many cups are required to fill this container? So are children try to do that activity by pouring water, or sometimes by pouring the milk. So before that, show two containers of different shapes, and ask children to state which container holds more water, and then pour water and show. This helps children to understand that just by perception one cannot measure these things. So if you show two containers, one container is looks very small, another one is somewhat bigger than the other one. So if you ask children which container holds more water, which container, so some children may tell correct answer, some may not. So here perception by observing those containers is uh, not possible to measure. It cannot be measure the things, which one is the or which holds more water, or which container holds less quantity of water. So you can ask the children to do the activity by pouring the water by using the cup into the container, so that they can understand the number and the quantity. The next one is yeah, next one is the prediction. What happens next? So estimation and prediction are also part of mathematics and will help develop critical thinking skills among the children. So you can ask your preschool children, like, guess which is bigger, choose two objects that you can compare, and guess which holds more liquid, tall glass or wide glass, dark glass or wide glass. And also predict, will a ball float and stay on top of the water or sink to the bottom? So you can give different activities, like predicting which container is the bigger one. Sometimes you can ask the children which container, by giving two containers, one out of two, one is the taller one, another one is the wider one. Or by using the glasses or cups, teacups. And also you can ask the children by giving the two balls, which one is the less in weight, another one is the somewhat more high or heavy weight, will be one is high in weight, or you can say weight was somewhat different from the another one. One is lighter weight. Okay. Another one is heavyweight. Like that, you can ask the children, you, can you predict a ball float and stay on the top of the water or sink to the bottom? Like that, you can ask. So children start analyzing, start critical thinking happens. Critical thinking develops by using this kind of predictions. Next is concept of the money. So children could be made familiar with coins and rupees. Okay. Generally discussion and role play would help children to understand the function and the use of the money. Okay. So number and operations. How to introduce numbers to children in a very meaningful or enjoyable way. Number is the most important and usable concept for preschoolers, but it does not start and end with just counting 1 2 3 1 2 3. Number sense is very important at the preschool stage. It is much more than merely counting. It involves the ability to think and work with the number easily and to understand their usage and the relationship. So here number sense is the ability to count accurately, match numbers, numeral correctly, see relationship in numbers. So counting, the rote counting, children learn counting by rote method. Okay, before they count rationally or meaningfully, a child memorizes a sequence of sounds 1 2 3 4 5, like that. So show three objects and ask the child to answer how many things are there. How many things are there? If you show the three different objects or similar objects, if you ask the children how many things are there, a 3 year child can, he might guess and say 2 3 4, like that, rather than counting. Okay, so listening to counting is also very important for children to count by rote. So activities for developing counting. So your rote counting can be developed by making children listen to counting things informally in the classroom. So telling numbers related to stories like hungry caterpillar, sometimes number songs, action songs. Okay. So rational counting, next is the rational counting under counting. So counting and with understanding. Once children enjoy saying numbers orally, count by rote, then they begin to see the purpose for counting and begin counting objects in set, meaningful counting. So for developing meaningful counting skill in children, we have provided many first-hand experiences. So one-to-one correspondence or matching is a fundamental to determine the number of a set. You can give a set of 5 objects and ask the children to count. So children who are in the rote counting stage just start coming, guess and say any number. So activities for developing one-to-one correspondence, children should handle objects first. Children should be encouraged to match the objects with another. A cup with a saucer, a spoon with a plate, a table with a chair. Match groups of objects one to one. So by using these activities, you can develop one-to-one correspondence. One-to-one correspondence. So sometimes you can show groups of objects like cubes, coins, flowers, etc. So lines them up. So now you can ask children to match the same number of objects. Children should be encouraged to line up the given objects immediately under the objects which you have placed a match. You can show some leaves. Okay, okay. You can show some objects like leaves. You can remove one leaf from the leaflet. Okay, you can take different plants. So you can ask the children to match up one to one. So which matches to which leaflet? Which which leaf matches the another leaflet. So by using these activities, you can develop the one-to-one correspondence skill. Next is the quantity, or you can say number sense. So making children understand how many in a set is one of the first number ideas. So after matching objects to object, picture to picture, children will be ready for meaningful counting. Children develop an understanding of quantity by counting the objects in a set or making a specific set of objects. So you know we have to provide, as a teacher, have to provide experiences for meaningful counting. So some of the activities to develop number sense in children: use concrete objects for counting. Place a few objects up to 5 or up to 6 in a group and demonstrate counting. Touch each object in the set and count. You show the 5 objects, any objects, and ask the children by touch each object in the set and count. Then pose a question: how many things? How many things are there? How many things are there? After touching those objects. So again repeat counting and say number 5. Number 5. If 5 things are placed, now again ask children how many things are there. If children have difficulty, you answer it. Okay. You can help them to solve the counting number. Next is the comparison set, or more or less. So after learning counting meaningfully, children should be able to compare two unequal sets, and they can say which has more and which has less, and how many more or how many are less. So some of the activities you can take, like ask children to compare two unequal set as shown in the shown. You can give the some pictures, the similar kind of things, similar kind of leaves, or similar different set of the uh, so you can ask the children count the each set and find which set. So if for example you take one set is 6 number of leaves, another set is 7 number of set. So you ask the children how many leaves are there in one set. For example, greeny leaves. Another set is 7 number of yellow leaves. Okay, so you can ask that children count the each set. So and find which set has more and which has less. You can ask the children which set is less in number, which set is more in number. So still teacher can probe by asking how can you say that this set has more or less. Encourage children to count the objects and say this set has two more things or two less things, etc. So provide many concrete experiences in the aspect. So number, numeral. So a number is what we say and a numeral is what we write. So 5 things in a set. When asked how many things are there in a set, the number is 5. 5 is the number and a representation of number is, that is 5 is the numeral. So you can also show another kind, number and the numeral. So you can show two sets, one set, one picture showing that number 5. So another set is showing that quantity, like 1 2 3 4 5 leaves. So you can uh, uh, you can easily make the children, that is the number and the representation of the number. This 5 quantity representing the number 5. This is another kind of activity. Next is the numeral set association. Numeral set of association. So children should be able to match the number with numeral. This leads to meaningful learning of the number at preschool stage. Next is the writing of numerals. So just as young children need to learn the letters of, they also need to learn numerals. So writing numerals is not an important skill at preschool stage, but children see numerals displayed and begin to understand what they represent. So representation, what a particular number is or numeral is representing. So numeral writing, this is a skill that may not be accomplished until close to entering grade 1. So tracing of sandpaper numerals, okay, joining the dots to make numerals, arranging the beads, seeds on the number, written on the floor, writing numerals in order to in a order like 1 to 5, 1 to 6, or 1 to 9 up to like this. So in these skills improvement, or in these pre-number skills, what is the role of the teacher in creating mathematics environment? So apart from the structured or planned pre-number specific activities, children's attention in preschool can be drawn to learn in a more informal way also. So children can be asked to count the number of doors or windows of the center, count the number of children in the center, and say more girls or more boys. Encouraged to read the door number of the center. They may also be asked to tell their house number, identify the shape that are present in the center. Compare big and small things, big chair and small chair. Notice heavier and lighter things in the environment, position of different things in the center, etc. So while monitoring their growth, weight and height, children can be told how much is their weight and what is their height. So this helps children to appreciate mathematics and understand the need of it in their lives as numbers are directly used by them. So here, so hence it is a preschool teacher's responsibility to develop liking to learn mathematics by providing very different kinds of experiences, which should be like concrete experiences. Children learn best through senses, sensing by touch, taste, smell, hear, and also see original or actual objects. So semi-concrete, like semi-abstract, related to picture, model of the object, like that. In the abstract, understanding symbolic representation, understand that numbers have meaning and can be manipulated. So initially, children should be given experiences with concrete objects to count, then count the pictures and then numerals. So mathematics can be made very interesting and meaningful for children if an element of fun is included in the activities. So before children learn different numbers operations, they need to master pre-number skills, which lay the foundation to their later learning of mathematics. So they need varied kinds of varied experiences to understand the concept. Many of the experiences that young children need in order to be successful with numbers do not rely on numbers per se. Discussing the concepts like bigger and smaller, more and less, taller and shorter is an example of preschool mathematics activities. So in everyday life experiences, such experiences are called pre-number experiences. So here pre-number skills can be taught formally and informally. Sometimes formally they can learn, sometimes informally they can learn in the home atmosphere or home environment throughout the day. So these concepts are really important to the development of number sense. And the role of the preschool teacher is to bridge children's informal understanding of mathematics with more formal preschool based program by adopting playway method. So children learn numbers and operation with much practice, and we should encourage their development as they are ready. Children begin to count for fun, rote counting. Then they begin to see the purpose of counting and begin counting objects in a set. So next they begin adding to be to or subtracting objects from a set. So they begin comparing objects in a set. This is a slow process and required a lot of practice. At last, children begin to recognize numbers and associate the numbers with like numbers of the objects. They also begin to write numbers. If we make this learning fun, children will enjoy learning mathematics through their school years. So we just go through the summary of the today's summary of the today's class, that is pre-number skills. So pre-number skills, under this pre-number skills, comparison concept, understanding and identifying the differences, identifying the differences, and similarity between the objects. So you can use some activities like comparing sizes, big size, smaller size, quantity, more or less, length, long, short, and weights, heavy, lighter weight. Next is the seriation. Seriation is the concept arranging the objects in a specific order based on a particular attribute. Activities like ordering items by size, color, gradient, or sequence, shortest to smallest. Next is the classification, arranging the objects in a specific order based on the particular attribute like shortest to tallest. Ordering items by size, color, gradient. Sorry. Grading objects based on the common attributes like sorting by color, shape, size, or type. So all red items sometimes. So all circles. Sometimes all are the squares or all are the rectangles. Like this, you can use the classification or sorting concept. Next is shapes. recognizing and naming different shapes. So you can use the activities like identifying, tracing, and constructing shapes, circles, and triangles. Next is space and position. So understanding spatial relationships and the positions of objects. So activities using terms like above, below, next to, in front of, behind. Like these activities you can use by introduce the concept space and the position. Next is the pattern and the relationship. Recognizing, creating sequences and understanding relationship between the objects. So you can use the activities like completing patterns, identifying missing the elements in sequence. Next is the estimation. So making educated guesses about quantities or measurements. So estimating the number of items in a jar, the length of an object or distance is a kind of activity. Next is the prediction. So anticipating outcomes based on patterns or prior knowledge is the concept of prediction. You can use the activity the predicting the next item in a pattern or the result of a simple experiment. Next is the concept of money. So concept of the money, recognizing and understanding the use of the money. So you can use the activities like identifying the coins or some notes and the bills, role playing, shaping and making simple transactions. So number and the operation, counting concept, understanding numbers and their sequential order by using counting objects, reciting numbers and using number line. One-to-one correspondence. Next is one-to-one correspondence. Matching one objects to on other objects or a number. Pairing socks, placing one bead or on each speck. Next is the quantity. Recognizing and comparing quantities. Can use the activities like determining which group has more or fewer items. Next is the comparison of the sets. Comparing different sets to understand the equality more and less. You can use the visual aids to compare group of objects. Next is the numeral set association, connecting numerals with their corresponding sets by matching the number 3 to group of 3 apples by or to a group of 3 bananas, whatever they, whatever you can, whatever the fruit or objects you can take, whichever you can take. But the matching activity should be impacted on the children learning. Next is the writing of numerals. So concept learning to write number symbols. So trace creating a rich learning environment. Creating rich learning environment. So providing diverse materials and activities, designing engaging hands-on learning experience. So encouraging exploring and discovery is another role. Fostering, enabling curiosity and encouraging students to explore concepts independently, guiding students through question and discovery based learning. Next is the supporting individual learning needs. So recognizing different learning phases and styles, providing personalized support and differentiated instruction, using positive reinforcement. So you should always, as a teacher, should use the positive reinforcement or motivation, encouraging and celebrating success to build confidence among the children. So offering constructive feedback and encouragement. So always give the constructive. Not you should not discourage the children when they say incorrect answers. Okay, when their activity is wrong, you should not discourage them. And integrating play and learning. So using play-based activities to teach concepts making learning fun and engaging through games and interactive activities. So observing is the another role of the teacher, continuously observing students' progress, using assessments to guide instructions and provide targeted support. So this is about today's summary points in the today's class. Next class we will be discussing about the pre-writing skills. In pre-writing, we will be learning that need and importance of the pre-writing skills and also fine motor skills. Next one is the developing pre-writing skills in young children, getting ready for writing, and what is the role of the teachers. These things we are going to study. So I just go through brief overview of the next class. So by studying this unit, acknowledge the need to prepare the child with necessary skills for writing, understand how to develop pre-writing skills in children, learn to plan and practice pre-writing skills. These are the objectives you are going to you able to understand, able to acknowledge, understand, learn. So when preschool teachers are sensitized to the value of writing for children and provide a stimulating environment in the classroom, children will learn to write and read easily and naturally and will come to their elementary school experiences with a much more solid foundation of the basic skills. So it is very important to develop the fine motor skills in children within turn helps, which in turn helps in developing pencil grip. And these activities should be developmentally appropriate, age and ability to specific and should not force the child to excel. Instead, activities should make the child confident to hold the writing material. So all the activities should help the child to enjoy and develop interest and be meaningful. So this is about the brief overview of the next class. So we will discuss in the next class. By this, I am closing today's meeting. Thank you for this opportunity. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.